Hi. Okay, I thought it might be easier for me to just make a couple of videos to give like a little tutorial on how to make the masks, and then if anybody has any questions or needs, live instruction or whatever, I'm more than happy to do a Zoom little course or training. So basically, what you need to make the masks is cotton fabric and flannel, preferably, and then strips of lycra. So what I end up doing is cutting a bunch of pieces of fabric. I get everything cut, and then I just have like a stack of them ready to sew, so I can just, get through the sewing part really quickly. This is by far the most time-consuming part of this. So anyway, for the fabric, you'll want to have 6 by 9.5 for an adult mask. I'm not sure about a kid's mask, just a little bit smaller. So you'll want to cut the flannel and the fabric the same size. And inside of this, there is a strip of lycra, which is really stretchy. I couldn't find elastic anywhere, so I just cut strips of lycra, and this is 1 inch by 7 inches, and you'll need 2 of these for each mask. So what you do is you put your fabric right sides facing, so you'll want to put the outside of the fabric inside, and you're going to sandwich in the little pieces of lycra for the piece that goes around the ear. So you'll match up the corner like that, and then another one on top of it, and then I just pin it together. And I do that on all 4 sides, so you'll have, your 2 strips of lycra on the inside. So this is all kind of sandwiched together, inside out. So that's the first part, by far the most time consuming. And then I'll make another video just showing how to sew it. It's just not easy to film a video of yourself sewing, so I will need to wait until I have someone to help me with that. Yeah, so that's the first part. Okay, in the first video, I failed to mention that when you have a patterned fabric, you're gonna wanna have the pattern going with a long end. So this is the side where your ears are, the ear straps are going to be. So you'll want to make sure that it's, if you have some kind of directional fabric, you'll want to make sure that the grain line is going this way so that the pattern is correct. And I also didn't mention that the lycra strips, it's 1 strip that is connected from here to here, and that is on the short end. So, okay, so I'm going to try to have my helper hold the camera. So hopefully we'll be able to do this. So you can hold it just right like that, okay? Okay, so what you'll want to do is start about, 2/3 of the way down on one of the long sides of the fabric. And you're gonna just start sewing. You'll want to lock the end right there by going backwards and forwards once over the same stitch.
What happened?
Okay, sorry. Okay, and so you're just gonna start sewing. You're gonna sew. You're gonna get to the corner. You'll wanna make sure that you drop the needle down so you can pivot. You'll pivot. You'll go all the way down this side. Pivot again. Pull the needles out so you don't break them. Go down the short end again. And then you'll want to go down about 1/3 of the way. The reason why you're leaving a little gap in between where you started sewing and where you're ending is because you're going to need to be able to turn it the other way. So make sure you lock on the end by going backwards and forward. Lift your needle up, and then you're gonna, with that little space, you're going to turn it inside out. So and it's easier if you just kind of pull on those little lycra strips. like so. And this one, I caught a little bit of the strip inside where I was sewing, but it's no big deal with this. You can just cut it. Make sure you're putting it on this, okay? All right, so this is basically what the outside of it is going to look like. So you're going to need to go and sew all the way around the edge. So what I do is I put it, go to where the open spot is, and I kind of turn it in so it's going to make a nice little edge, and I start sewing there. So again, you want to lock it so that it doesn't come undone, and you just sew all around the perimeter of the mask. And again, you'll want to make sure you have the needle down so you can pivot on the corners. It again, and then for the sides where the Lycra band is, can you put it over here a little bit, where it's like this, you're going to need to make 2 little pleats. So what I do is I just go like this and like this, so you have 2 little pleats, and carefully put it back into the sewing machine. And you're just going to sew over it to make sure that the pleats stay. And you'll want to do that on both sides so that you can, so it's pleated, but also you'll want to make sure that you have the pleats going in the same direction on both sides. Are you looking over here? Thank you. You want to lock it again so that it doesn't unravel or come unstitched. And then that is it. Can you face it down here, honey? Okay, so then what I do is I just go around on one side. I snip all of the pieces of thread on that one side. And then you can go around and snip all the yarn, the thread on that side. And that is it. You have a completed face mask.